Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. We are the Mile High Property Brothers. Today is super fun. It's updated. You might have seen something like this before, but there is more to talk about. And we are talking about the top 10 Denver neighborhoods 2023.
That's right. So if you're just starting your search of Denver and you don't know where the heck to start, we're going to give the complete rundown of all the most popular neighborhoods right now. What's up, guys? I'm Eli Schmidt. This is Will Grimes. We are the Mile High Property Brothers. Appreciate you checking out our channel. If it's your first time here, guys, we drop a new video twice a week without fail, so make sure to hit that subscribe button.
100%. And we are licensed brokers here in the state of Colorado, which means just as much as we love making these videos, we would love more to help you with those real estate needs. That number that's popping up below, we are the guys that answer the phone call, text messages, and those emails. If we can help you, we would love to. But with that being said, top 10 neighborhoods, what's new, what's still around, what stands the test of time, everything you need to know right here.
That's right, guys. Now, for every single one of these neighborhoods, we've done a deep dive full tour on them, so we'll make sure to link those below. So if any one of these stands out to you, you can find it down in the link and watch our whole deep dive video on that. In addition to that, we're continuing to do deep dives on these all the time that are updated, coming out every single week for you.
Correct. And hey, not in any particular order, but just top 10. Let's get into it. Number one, we're going to start with LoDo.
That's right. Now this stands for Lower Denver, and if you guys don't know yet, one thing, Denver,
or Lower Downtown.
Denver, I'm sorry, I always mess that up. Lower Downtown.
Duh.
That's right.
Lower Downtown.
One thing Denver loves doing is taking their cute neighborhood names and then shortening them into little cutesy words.
For great arguments. It's great.
Yes. But Lower Downtown is exactly right. Now, Lower Downtown is going to be the heart of downtown Denver, which, as you can assume, there might not be a whole ton of single-family homes out there, but there is a ton of things for you guys to do.
Correct. And you've got that new Colorado Athletic Club that's been there for a while that rests just behind Union Station, which is a really cool spot. You've got a lot of townhome areas, or a lot of townhomes in that building that you guys can live in.
Now, one of the key features about Lower Downtown, or LoDo, as you may guess, is that there's going to be primarily condos down there as opposed to single-family homes. Now, Denver is very much a live-work city. Like, we are about our business here, but people are very much about getting out into nature and exploring. So even if you are planning on living in one of the high-rises down there and getting a condo and really living the downtown life, one of our pro tips would be to make sure you've got a vehicle still, because, hey, yes, you can probably like walk to work, or maybe you're just a few blocks from it, but man, if you're in Colorado, you're gonna want to go explore.
And it's just the best place to be if you're going to be down there. You've got Capitol Hill, you've got some other places on like South Broadway that are technically downtown, but for me, I guess personally, if you're going to be downtown, be downtown. The Nuggets just won the championship. You've got the Rockies.
Nikola Jokic is a great person. He's a great husband, father, and son, and brother. And on the basketball court, he's proven time and time again that he's the best player in the NBA. He's our MVP. We love him, and we're thankful that he's wearing a Nuggets uniform.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations. Now let's bring back Commissioner Silver to present the 2023 Bill Russell NBA Finals Most Valuable Player Award.
This is the first Finals MVP trophy that we're giving out since Bill Russell's passing. And he'd be incredibly pleased. It's another center. This year's Bill Russell Finals MVP goes to Nikola Jokic.
Down there, you've got the Denver Broncos, you've got Meow Wolf, you've got Union Station, you've got some really great eateries, bar and grills. If you're going to be there, be there. Union Station is one of the best places that you guys can go to. That was recently remodeled. You've got the Colorado Athletic Club behind that. When it comes to proximity, if you're going to be down there, price point, believe it or not, South Broadway and Capitol Hill can still get pretty expensive. Believe it or not, and you're still a ways away. So for us, definitely take a look at just the heart of downtown to see what it looks like if you're considering anywhere even close to that.
All right, now let's go shoot west just across the highway from LoDo, Lower Downtown, and we're gonna land in a spot called the Highlands.
Correct.
Or Lower Highlands, or Low High.
Or Little Man Ice Cream.
Or Little Man Ice Cream, yes.
Best reference there is, and speaking of Little Man Ice Cream, the Highlands is great because not only is it across the highway from downtown, so you got single family homes, you've got dog parks, you've got walkability, but you've also got some speakeasies, you've got some great bars, and you have some of the best restaurants in Denver, period. But it's a little bit more quiet than downtown, which makes it so desirable.
Yeah, now we feature the Highlands on our channel as one of the best places for young professionals, and I think that still holds true. Now, you're gonna find all demographics here, especially a lot of families and stuff like that, but the Highlands is one of the places where people tend to graduate. Like if you initially moved to Denver in your young 20s, you had an apartment or a condo down there, and then you're starting a family and you moved up to a different career and you wanna stay near downtown, you're gonna move over to the Highlands because you're still gonna have all the restaurants, coffee shops, all the cool trendy things that you want, but now you're gonna have a lot of single family homes and a lot of townhomes.
If you dropped out, but you're rich, you don't want to do all this, you just want to live in the Highlands, you can do that.
That's right.
This is your world. This is your world, whatever you guys want to do. But a lot of folks do like the single family home aspect, the cultured homes, but just being off the beaten path of lower downtown. If you guys come and you travel and you get a feel for it, you know exactly what we're talking about when it comes to how close proximity-wise you guys want to be to actual downtown.
Yes, and the Highlands falls perfectly into one of our favorite phrases of that urban-suburban feel, right? Because, hey, you feel kind of suburban because there's nice single-family homes lining these, very tree-lined blocks. There's parks. There's you've got neighbors and stuff to engage with. It's very suburban, but it's very urban in the sense of all the shopping, restaurants, and dinings in proximity to Denver that you have.
And overall walkability, even though you are across the highway from downtown, if you work downtown, if you're gonna be commuting downtown for fun, whatever it may be, there are bridges that you can literally walk across. So if you are in the Highlands, the walkability of it going downtown or just staying in that immediate area is still very good. So you don't necessarily need a car if you're gonna be down there.
All right, now number 3, one of the most popular neighborhoods that you're gonna find here, that is Wash Park or Washington Park.
Correct. Now, this is a little bit further southeast outside of downtown, just off the highway, I-25 and University area. We talk about Wash Park all the time. Biggest reason why we love it is because you have the most popular state park in all of Colorado, arguably, and definitely by far in the Denver metro area.
Yes.
2 bodies of water. You've got great weddings that happen out there, but the weekends are filled with volleyball and 5Ks and dog walks, and it's a lot of fun. But you've also got this large neighborhood called Washington Park that's there, and you've got plenty of space as far as having your own quiet time throughout the week, and you've got some good sized lots for being in Denver.
You do. Now the homes that you're gonna find out there, if you find an original home, it's most likely gonna have been built between the 1920s and 1950s. But then almost all of those are going to be completely remodeled and updated, and usually selling anywhere from $1 to $2 million. And what you're also going to find are a lot of homes that have been scraped, as in demolished, and then a brand new home rebuilt. And a lot of those are ultra modern, contemporary, just absolutely gorgeous homes. And those are going to be going anywhere from usually about $2 to $4 million in the Wash Park area.
Great spot, centrally located in Denver, not too far from downtown, not too far from everything else. Close to the highway so you guys can commute if you're going to the mountains, whatever it may be, just literally hopping on I-25 and going south or north will get you guys wherever you need to go.
Now, let's stay in approximately the same budget, right, of that higher end budget, and let's go to Cherry Creek.
Cherry Creek North.
Yes, Cherry Creek North.
Yep, so super similar to Wash Park when it comes to price points, but it's more so on the north side of Cherry Creek Mall. Very sophisticated, very upscale. You've got tons of scrapes here. Cherry Creek Mall has also done a ton of revisions. You've got restoration hardware there and a ton of other stuff. You guys are, I'm sure, watching some content on it right now, but this is probably the best place to be outside of Denver when it comes to happy hours, a little bit of nightlife and some nice restaurants, but not having to go entirely downtown or have that feel. And you've still got single family homes. You've got the country club. You've got, is it University Golf Course? That's right there.
I think it's Cherry Creek Golf Course.
Cherry Creek Golf Course.
We'll put a correction up here. We're not golfers, as you can tell.
You guys knew that. You guys knew. Either way, the course is beautiful. It's very close proximity.
Yes.
You've got a Whole Foods that's right there on the corner.
Yes.
A lot of really cool stuff. But again, different vibe, even though it gets busy, different vibe than downtown. We tend to call this the Beverly Hills of Denver.
And I would say, as far as walkability, Cherry Creek gets an A+, and it might be some of the most walkable neighborhood that you have in all of Denver.
100%.
All right, now going back up north, imagine we're gonna go to LoDo, and then we're gonna go just immediately northeast of that. We're gonna be in RiNo,
Right.
AKA River North.
Technically northeast of Denver.
Yep.
You've got a couple angled streets there, but don't want to get into schematics, but really cool. This is an art district. So single family homes, definitely older. You've got a lot of remodel that's happening down there, but you've also got this art district where the entire area is painted through art, but they've also got those parades that come through where they hang art and some of the different small businesses, but the industrial side of RiNo has a ton of new breweries and things like that, right? So a lot of really cool stuff to do. And again, you're outside of the downtown area. You've got single family homes, you've got got townhomes, condos. If brewery life is for you, if CrossFit gyms are for you, then you are in the right place.
Yes, and I'm glad you said industrial because that is just the vibe. I don't even necessarily want to say RiNo is less affordable or anything like that. You know, it still is very much on par with buying a LoDo condo or even the Highlands. It's just a completely different vibe. You know, there's tons of food trucks, tons of art, tons of street art, just graffiti. It is a very, very cool vibe up there. And even if you're not living up there, maybe the lots are too small for you, maybe the homes are too small for you because they are a little bit smaller, especially compared to something like a Wash Park.
Right.
It is definitely a place that you're gonna go see some concerts, have a drink, have a fun, go to some
Couple fashion shows,
yeah, art
things like
shows.
that.
It's a fun place to be.
I will say, as far as like refurbishing that entire area when it comes to scrapes or remodel homes, it has been a little bit slower than some of these other areas that we're talking about. And I'm not sure, don't quote me, I'm wondering if it has been because you've had so much industrial improvement with all these breweries that have moved into these old historical buildings.
Yeah.
It's really cool, but it's created a lot of construction
Yep.
and a lot of refurbishment, which means ultimately maybe a little bit too loud. I'm not sure, but for whatever reason, like you just haven't had a lot of single family homes done at the pace as some of these other areas.
Yeah, now let's head south a little bit. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna jump on Broadway. We're gonna go straight down south to South Broadway, so we're just south of downtown now, and this is going to be the Baker neighborhood.
Great spot.
Yes, so Baker is going to be what I would say is like the LoDo for 30-something-year-olds. Like it's one of the places where, hey, once you're done with the clubs and stuff in Lower Denver, you wanna go and just have some good times at some bars with some good foods with some friends, that's gonna be Baker.
But you've got great neighborhoods. You've got a lot of like neighborhood parks per block.
ton
Like
of
it's
them.
just a really cool spot. A little bit more low key, a little bit more quiet.
A ton of them. And with Broadway being a main north-south thoroughfare, you can jump on Broadway. You can take that all the way south to Highlands Ranch. You can take that north directly into downtown Denver. You're gonna have a lot of single family homes out there, more so than townhomes and condos. Like Will said, a lot of parks and a lot of fun things to do. And in my opinion, fast forward 5-10 years, I think Baker is gonna be the next LoDo.
It's not talked about as much. You'll hear about South Broadway a little bit more. Just like when we talk about how we've got the Highlands, but then just across from that, we've got Sunnyside. We might be talking about Sunnyside again today. But again, like bang for buck, what you guys can get in these neighborhoods, they're literally just right across the street from the areas that you guys are all hearing about.
Yes.
And they're still great. They're just not as known. So this is definitely bang for buck when you guys should be looking at. That could be great equity-wise for you guys moving forward.
Yeah, definitely an up-and-comer. If you're interested in Denver, you've got to check out Baker. All right, now going back up north, let's go just north of Lohi or Lower Highlands, and that is going to be Sunnyside.
It's almost like I knew we were gonna say that.
Almost.
If you got, just truth be told, we've got Google Earth right here in front of us. You guys are also looking at it as we speak,
right.
but really good reference.
That's right. Now, Sunnyside, in my opinion, is the up-and-coming Lohi or Lower
And it
Highlands.
has been. It has been for probably the last year.
Yeah.
That's something that's not necessarily new to you guys, but it's just a lot more relevant year to date now.
Yes. Now, when you say that it's going to be the upcoming Lohi, what does that mean? It means a lot of the types of restaurants and coffee shops and all the big attractions that take people to Lower Highlands is also being built up in Sunnyside. This is one thing that we personally love about Denver is they're very respectful of historic district and historic homes. You know, as much as I think we could be a city that just explodes with a ton of commercial developments, Denver really does a good job, in my opinion, to limit those, to make sure that we have adequate housing for how many people are moving here to Colorado, and Sunnyside is a prime example of that.
And if that feels a bit slower paced for some people, or they wish it would grow a little bit faster, whatever it may be, I get it. But once you're in, you're going to appreciate it because it definitely holds the value of what you guys own and keeps that demand high, which ultimately makes the equity and the value in your home better, especially for resale down the road.
It does, and it gives that suburban feel to the urban climate, which again, it's such a good blend of both of the worlds.
Agreed.
That Sunnyside just really becomes hard to beat. All right, now let's head a little bit down south, all right, closer to Wash Park, just a little bit more south of
A
Wash
little bit
Park.
more south. Yep, we're talking about University Hills.
That's right.
Super great spot. This is one of my favorite spots, guys. It's a little bit more quiet. You've got great parks, super mature trees that arch over the parks.
Gorgeous.
Being a father, having kiddos, wanting to be around good school districts, wanting to be a little bit more quiet streets and things like that. And it's not that Wash Park isn't that. Depending on where you're at around Wash Park, it can get pretty busy on the weekends because of how popular it is. University Hills isn't as popular, but you've got some great parks. But again, being a parent, I would almost choose University Hills first because of just that quiet atmosphere.
It is, and then the university we're talking about is Denver University.
Correct.
So this is the neighborhood immediately surrounding DU, and it is not a typical college in the sense of of, if you look at CU Boulder, right? It's a college town. It does not feel like that in university.
Not at all. And you just have a lot of professionals that even graduated from DU that now have professions downtown that still lived in those neighborhoods. You've got a couple little frat homes here and there, but for the most part, it's quiet. And depending on where you guys are at, it's extremely quiet, very friendly.
Good sized lots, good sized homes, very similar to Wash Park. You're gonna have a lot of old remodeled homes. They're gonna have a lot of scrapes and new builds. And maybe you're looking for that nice, modern, ultra contemporary look, but you're not wanting to drop $2 or $3 million on one of those homes. There are some awesome duplexes out there that look like a single family home. You just happen to be attached to another neighbor, but it does have that ultra modern look to it.
And if you like that, or maybe some mid-century modern, we're gonna hop all the way across downtown and jump up to more of like the west side, which is Sloan's Lake.
Great segue. That was good. So Sloan's Lake, guys, is going to sit just southwest of the Highlands area, and it's gonna sit just south of the Sunnyside area. But Sloan's Lake is a huge lake that you're gonna have. So it's just on the north side of Colfax, and massive lake, amazing for trail running, taking your dogs out there. There's some really loud birds out there apparently.
But something that's great, you guys have heard us talk about Sloan's Lake before, but the commercial development that's been happening in Sloan's Lake for the past year and a half has been phenomenal. Your restaurants that are out there, your medical facilities that are out there, your townhomes and apartments that are also available out there now as well, has been really cool, but it still hasn't affected the neighborhoods on the other side of the lake. It's still very quiet. You can get your mid-century modern style homes with big lots. You guys can go out of that and run around the lake, whatever it may be. The structure in which they develop the commercials, I feel, has done a great job as far as like increasing population around there, but not disturbing the peace per se for everybody else on the opposite side.
And in my opinion, the best part about Sloan's Lake is you get the lake life vibes while being a 5 or 8 minute drive from Lower Highlands, 5-minute drive from Sunnyside, 10-minute drive from Tennyson Street or less.
You're arguably walkable to the Denver Broncos Stadium. Like you guys could literally walk to a Bronco game.
It's true. It's true. Yes. Again, if a Denver neighborhood is on your list and you're looking for a blend of everything, Sloan's Lake is hard to beat.
Now a little bit more east, just outside of Denver, we're going to be talking about South Park Hill. South Park Hill has been great because you've got the museum there.
Yes.
Right. You've got botanical gardens there. You've got City Park that's there.
Denver
you got
Zoo.
a lot. You got a lot. But in its recent history, they added a parking garage, like underground parking garage at the museum. Why is this important? Because prior to that, everybody was parking across the street, across Colorado Boulevard, in South Park Hill's neighborhood, which means it was getting super busy, super congested over there. So if you're living there, of course you've got a garage on your home, but it's just hard when you got people parking in front of your house 3 days out of the week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? But because of that garage installment, you guys have a lot more freedom. And since we've been driving through there recently for clients and for content, it's been a lot more diffused even on the weekends.
Oh yeah, and I would say South Park Hill, mostly known for, not surprisingly, all its parks that it has, but it is notoriously just a quiet and green, very walkable, very beautiful neighborhood. It's
one of the most Denver-feeling neighborhoods there are. When you think Denver, you think South Park.
It's been a Denver favorite for years and years and years. So it's nothing new like a RiNo or a Sunnyside that's gaining popularity. South Park Hill has been a Denver staple for a long time.
Agreed. Now, based off of where it's at proximity-wise, you are close to I-70. Not terribly close, but you are close to I-70. You're definitely a little bit further away from like I-25. So as far as like your commute out of the city, if you want to go to the mountains, whatever it may be, it's not the friendliest commute getting to the highway. Some of these other locations that we've talked about are a lot more close proximity to the highway, which means your ability to get out south down toward Castle Rock, or east outside of the city, or west into the mountains, or north into the Rocky Mountain National Park, whatever it may be, a lot more simplistic. You do have a little bit more drive time because you're more centrally located in between 2 major highways. And even though you're a little bit closer to I-70, sometimes there can be some traffic over there, so it just takes a couple of minutes. So your commute out, not as friendly as some of these others, but where you're at, the central location, the picnics you can have at City Park, the casual walks you can have over to the museum, literally from your neighborhood, is probably worth a couple extra minutes on your drive when you have to leave.
Yeah, definitely. And guys, we hope this video has been valuable for you. This is exactly what we do. When you guys reach out and text us, we'll set up a Zoom call with you. And what we do on that first call is really find out, hey, personally, what are your wants and needs? And then we do exactly this, just based off of what your wants and needs are with our local knowledge. We sit here and we brainstorm, hey, what are some neighborhoods that could work for you? And what are the characteristics of all these different places?
And we do that because we are licensed brokers here in the state of Colorado. And yes, just as much as we love making these videos, we would love more to help with those real estate needs.
That's right.
Numbers popping in below. We are the guys trying to the phone calls, text messages, and those emails. So if we can help you, we would love to. But with that being said, I'm sure we'll see you guys on the next video. And hey, just a little bit precursor for what you guys can look forward to these next couple weeks is we're going to be diving into some of these neighborhoods specifically and going a mile deep on everything you need to know about all of these top 10. But for today, getting into these top 10 to at least give you guys some cliff notes was really fun. So in between all of our other content, we're going to start sneaking some of these neighborhoods in, especially during the summer, for you guys to see.
All right, we'll see you guys.